All right, so I've got some nice weather for a change. Today we're about 17 degrees Celsius. The highs throughout next week are going to be 6-7 degrees Celsius. I don't want to be opening the hive and chilling the brood at that point. So this is my opportunity. I got to get in here. I'm going to take the quilt box off. I'm going to put a frame feeder inside. It's warm enough now that I can start feeding them inside the hive. I've been giving them fondant, but when it's too cold and you use a frame feeder, because I'm using a sugar water mix, you get condensation, you'll get water buildup, or even possible freezing. At this point, it's finally done, so it's time to get them fed up. I want to build this hive up. They consume that pollen patty, even though they're bringing some pollen in now. They're getting it, I guess, from pussy willow and poplar. But I want to really give them a goose with some extra pollen patties. They've been eating them, and hopefully this builds up enough that I can split this hive a little later. With the problems I had in the bottom box before, though, I'm a little nervous about the strength of this hive. We'll see how it does. But yeah, it's time to get some maintenance on here, get it lowered down. Plus, when I change that top box, hopefully I'll get them starting to move to the cluster towards the bottom and using that bottom entrance and moving away from the top one. Okay, as always, smoke them up. A little bit at the entrance, maybe a little into the bottom. It's a step I've paid a price for skipping before. I know better now. And they've been really good. I find early in the season they're in better mood. Later in the year, the hives get bigger, they get more honey to protect, they get grumpier. So, get this lid off. There's the quilt box. I shouldn't need it anymore. And to be honest, with the amount of moisture I built in this hive, I don't know if it did me much good this year. Give them a puff, send them down inside, give them a few seconds. Lots of bees hanging underneath. Just shake them out. Watch for the queen. Unlikely she'd be there, but you just never know. And the queen is everything. Yes, the pollen patty I had is little more than paper now. They've eaten it all, which is good. I see burr comb building up top here. That's this extra comb coming up on top of the frames they're building. I want them to build down rather than up right now. I'll scrape that off just to keep things a little cleaner. I'm going to check a few frames just to ensure hopefully there's some healthy brood going on in here. The queen's doing all right. I found her the last time around. I don't have to find her this time, but I do want to know that she's laying eggs and doing all right. Plus, I got to pull a couple of the frames from the outside. So that's where I got to put the frame feeder. Usually you start with the far outside one, but I like starting with these plastic ones. I got to put plastic on the outside in all mine because I just have difficulty avoiding breaking these frames at times. And the plastic ones won't break. So this one, always check for the queen. Like they've been packing. You see some of the color, that's the pollen on there. This is capped honey. More capped honey and nectar over here. And again, burr comb on the bottom. I'll move this to the bottom box when I start shuffling things around, because I'm going to need these two spots for my frame feeder. So I'm going to take this frame out too. Just packed with capped honey. They're not short of food. They're getting a little grumpy though. Get a little more smoke. You can still see the plastic tabs from the mite treatment I have in here. That's still got to stay in for a little while. Another few weeks yet. The thing is with that type of mite treatment, I can't, this is old capped honey, by the way. But I can't use that type of mite treatment if I want to have supers on, where I'm going to be building up honey for harvest. So I got to use that before I put my supers on, which I'll do next month, assuming all goes well. Let's get a little towards the middle. Ah, yeah, I see a bunch of nice brood in here, which is good. She's been working. So this frame's lighter. I'm just checking it out. Oh. And mostly bees packing pollen and nectar away. So lots of feed. Just normal. And you work from the outside in, get towards the center. That's where the queen's more likely to be hanging out. All right. So yeah, lots of brood in the middle. You can see some larvae. So all that capped stuff there, that's going to be nice new baby bees for me. Just looking. I don't see the queen here. But I see a lot more brood on the next frame too. She's laying well. And I mean, with all these frames, that much food, I always worry because I've had swarming problems with my hive getting honey bound, which means she runs out of areas to lay eggs and decides, okay, let's pack up, take half the hive and go find a new home. And if they swarm this early in the season, again, lots of brood, some food on the outside, just a classic frame there. But if they swarm this early in the season, I'm very unlikely to be able to get a mated queen to replace her. And then I got difficulty. What I don't see yet is any drone brood. So drones are unfertilized eggs. They're male bees. And their role is nice and simple. They don't harvest anything. They don't have stingers. They don't guard anything. They just exist to hopefully get out and mate with a queen at some point. They'll go flying around, look for a queen, come back to the hive for the night, eat honey that the other bees served up. The males in the bee world are pretty lazy, but it does catch up on them because the females kick them all out before winter to die in the elements because they don't do the hive any good in winter. Again, I got honey on the outside, brood in the middle. Oh, this is wonky comb over here. That's another reason I kind of want them to move down. When there's not eggs up here, I'm going to take this frame out, take that bad comb off there and re-wax the frame so they can kind of start fresh on it. And I worry too much, I'm sure, but I don't see a lot of vacant cells for her to keep laying eggs in. And I just want to be sure she's got enough. So again, I mean, they know what they're doing. There's lots of space here, and the bees will clean it up. They'll make room for her to lay eggs. They're not packing honey into these cells, so I'm probably all right. I don't see any eggs. The other thing, you know which frame the queen's on, or a better likelihood of it. If you find some eggs, in them, they look like a tiny little piece of rice almost. You really got to look hard to spot them. Again, I got more wonky comb over here. It looks like some brood, drone brood in the middle. That means those cells they push out a little farther. They're larger. Oh, and there's the queen. Okay, so you can see her right here. And she's she's shy, not amused with being exposed and pointed out, but she's in there. So I spotted her. I know she's okay. I know she's laying eggs. To carefully push these frames together and leave her alone. And part of how you get that wonky comb when it's not growing right is if you don't have the frames tight with each other. And there's the balancing act. I push. They got basically built-in spacers, so it shouldn't squish any bees in the middle, but you want to keep them tight at the same time. I'm going to take this box off, have a quick look underneath. As I said, I'm going to shift a couple of frames down below. And I'm going to put the feeder in and give them another pollen patty. Oh, be really careful. Queen is in here, we know that. Smoke them up a bit. Strange old piece of fur comb fell off there. And then pull my outside frames. What do we got? Come on. Hey, pretty packed with honey. A bit of it's crystallized. This is last year's stuff. Should have left it out. Again, more of last year's honey. Some built comb, drawn comb it's called, which is handy. That's where they're going to be laying. They need to clean it up some more. Lots down here. So I will shift some frames. Take this one out, trade it for a plastic one here. Check girls. And this one looks ready for some brood. Get it in there. Get those properly spaced and push them tight again. So when Her Highness decides to move down a level, she's got some good frames to work with. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these partially drawn ones with the wonky comb. Might squeeze some cooking honey out of them. All right, let's get this back up top. I'm going to put in the frame feeder. These feeders are nice. They got the plastic going down in the middle so that the bees don't drown trying to get the sugar water. And what I feed them is pretty simple, just a 1-to-1 sugar water mix. Part of it's just to use straight white sugar. Don't use brown sugar. It's got molasses in it. It will basically constipate the bees. It's bad for them. Just simple white processed sugar, 1-to-1 and water. Some people put some other Hive Alive and mixtures into the food. I found just sugar water works. Once all the flowers are out, and these guys are really bringing in nectar. I mean, they're bringing in pollen great, but once that gets going, I'll take the feeder out again and let them get natural food, because we don't want them building the honey that we're going to harvest just off sugar water. People call that funny honey. And then you're just getting more of a syrup than a proper honey. The flavor, the local wildflowers and such. I'm going to give them another pollen patty. It's right here. You just leave it in, paper and all. And because I'm not putting the quilt box back on, I need a hive lid. And this one's got cutouts. The bees will still get ventilation and be able to come and go. Come on, girls. But, come on. But with the lid on top, it is going to be a little tighter, and I'm hoping makes them more inclined to head to the lower levels. There is a good opening down there. So they're coming and going. They got room to go. They're all right. And yeah, another inspection down. I'll give them another, week or two. I gotta wait till it warms up at least. We'll see how they're developing. They're looking pretty good though. She's laying pretty good brood. Not as much as I would hope, but it's still early in the season. We'll see. And there's a lot of drawn comb down below. Hopefully she'll get to working down in the second box, and again, I'll be able to split this hive and get 2 out of it.